Meeting for Monday, January, what's the day, the 5th?
It is.
2026. A new year to make things better. And we will have a roll call, Vance.
Charles Bradshaw,
Present.
Carl Pavlonis,
Present.
Lee Highsteed,
Present.
Royal Barlow,
Present.
Mike Bradshaw.
Present.
We have a quorum. We can proceed. We will put out there if anybody wants to offer a word of prayer from the public or from any one of us.
I will.
All right, Michael, go ahead.
Our gracious and kind Father in heaven, we approach you in gratitude and thanksgiving for the opportunities of this new year and these new opportunities that you afford us, for the opportunity to assemble here and deliberate the dealings of this community and the valley, and pray that you will help us to consider the elements before us, and pray that you will help us to deliberate in a manner that would be pleasing unto you, and assist in the upbuilding of your children here on this earth. Again, we thank you for our many blessings. We pray for this valley, pray for the governments, and for the blessings that we have. We again thank you for all that we have in our, and we do this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, okay, did you have a chance to go over the minutes? I went over them. I did not see anything that we needed to change or add. Anybody else?
Same.
Okay, let's entertain a motion to approve.
Yes, hey, hold on a second.
So moved.
This is Vance.
I'll second it.
Okay, who motioned?
Michael motioned, seconded by Royal. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Conference line doesn't have-
Okay, now we go into public comment.
Hopefully that'll work. He's got two items on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long we should wait on these, Vance, but nobody's here.
Public comment? And if nobody still stands up.
Well, they didn't.
Nobody to talk, but nobody is.
Okay, we will go into the public hearing, so we will close this meeting at 5:00.
That was the public hearing, right?
That was the public
Yes,
comment.
public comment was before.
So did you
For
open
items
the
not on the
public
agenda.
hearing?
Now we're going into the public
Okay,
hearing.
sorry, I was a little distracted there for a minute.
So we'll close this meeting at 12:08, or at 5:08, and open the public hearing.
I will state that we have not received any written comments on any of these items.
Okay. And so no one's here to go over these, so we will close the public hearing at 5:08 and move on to item number 7. Consider zoning map amendment parcel 40453-327 from RE1A residential to R18 single family. Please introduce this, Vance.
Okay, this is a rezone request by Ashley Thomas. It's for a property right up here on Edson Avenue. It's a corner lot that they want to split into three lots. And the reason they're going for the R18 is that the existing building is going to take up a chunk of the lot.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just a straightforward corner lot.
I didn't see any issues with it, so I don't have any comments on it as far as that goes.
That's good.
So I do have a question, though. So it's a R18, but the parcels are over 20,000 acre. Are they over 20,000? I guess they're not. Never.
Yeah, the reason he's going with the R18 is that the existing lot, existing building Then to get the 2 lots, he's down to 67.5 feet, which
Okay.
the R112 doesn't allow that narrow of a lot.
Right.
So the only concern that I really have on this, so you've got Central Street in Edson, and it isn't a giant concern. It looks like it's 300 feet from Central Street, so never mind. I don't have the same concerns, so I don't have any concerns with this.
Okay. We're done discussing that. We will consider a,
I will move that we
Motion.
send on to the city council a recommend for approval for map amendment for parcel 40453-327 from RE1A residential to RE18 single family residential.
we have a first by Commissioner Bradshaw, second by Commissioner Steed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 8, map amendment for 404-31075 from RE1A to C3. And please introduce this one, yes.
Yes, okay, this is a small triangular piece on the corner of Township and 389. It was a larger piece, but most of it was in the ADOT right-of-way, which they are splitting out, and this is a UEP one, so Jeff can speak to it. But they just want to rezone that triangular piece to C3, which will put it compatible with the zone next to it. And then, of course, any development will be a product of what they can fit in that little space.
Any questions on those? I didn't have any on this one either.
It makes sense. I mean, so it's a remainder parcel that UDOT is, or ADOT is relinquishing, or
No, when,
or it's
if
just an
you'll
orphan
recall,
parcel when they, after
then
they,
a lot of the UEP parcels had never had the ADOT right-of-way split out of
They
them,
went to the center of the, or even across
or
the
even
road.
clear across. And so part of the thing the UEP trust has been doing is cleaning those up through lot line adjustments and parcel splits. So the ADOT right-of-way belongs to ADOT now.
so they're going through a process of delivering the right-of-way to ADOT formally,
Right,
as opposed to an easement, which is what this corridor has been for.
right. Well, some of it's easement, some of it's
True.
ADOT right-of-way.
So this is in process, this is an orphan parcel after they deliver that to.
Right, it's just a little triangular piece that's outside of the ADOT right-of-way that's, and it makes, to me, it makes good sense to zone it C3,
Yep.
which is compatible with the other industrial.
Other ones that are right by it.
Or the other commercial right there.
Any other comments on this one? I will move that, to recommend to the city for approval of parcel 404-31075 from RE1A to C3.
I'll second.
So we have a first by Commissioner Charles Bradshaw, second by Commissioner Michael Bradshaw. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 9, amendment for parcel 404-53077B from RE1A to C2 commercial. Please introduce this one.
Okay, this is another parcel on Arizona Avenue. It's just west of the school building. It's the parcel that has the old basketball court on it. And so this is a request from the UEP Trust to rezone that to a C2 community commercial.
Which is, I was kind of surprised they didn't do it with the first one.
Well, Jeff's on the phone. I think.
Yeah, the question that I have on this is, I see that there's no intended use, specific use for it, but is this just to come in connection with the adjacent C2, or is there a specific reason? Do you have?
Well, when they first split those off from the bigger parcel, they told me their intent was to convert them to commercial. Now, why it's been this long, that's the decision they made, not me. So, but the plan is to, and even the next piece, which is still part of the bigger piece, because they couldn't split it out without making 4 lots, it will eventually, the plan is to,
The one that corners Homestead?
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is just a request to get that other one C2, and Jeff can speak to it. I think he's on the phone still. But I think they're just trying to be ahead of it.
Okay?
And what happened with the original plot? I know it was reconsidered by the council.
The school parcel, okay, I don't want to get too far out in the weeds on that.
Okay.
But it was tabled at the council meeting, and we'll be bringing it up again here at the January meeting. So it hasn't actually had a final decision made yet.
Okay, any other questions on this one? Or concerns?
Well, I guess I'm wondering why they did C2.
Well, I can probably speak to that a little bit. Maybe Jeff, maybe, can you answer, maybe it would be, like to hear it from the applicant, why C2 as opposed to C1?
Well, I think as we look at the code carefully, I think C1's definitely tailored around neighborhood only. These buildings that are directly on Arizona Avenue and on Central Street, to us, they appear to be quite clearly community. So we're looking for something that's a little bit more broad. C2 is very narrow. It's also in conjunction with the Arizona School building, and it seems to us that the size of the building and the location kind of call out for a C2. I've looked at the code pretty carefully. I know there's been a lot of discussion about, and I know Vance doesn't want us to get too far off track here, but there's been a lot of discussion about why not just go to a C1. And as I look at the code, I think all you're asking for is every time that building or every time this parcel goes to be used by a future owner, they're going to be coming right back to you for special use permits every single time, because most of them are conditional. Everything that you try to do with that building is going to be a conditional use. And so, to me, I think the C2 is appropriate.
Yeah.
The buildings already exist. They're on a major corridor, and I just don't know why we would want to limit them down to something that's only meant for just that little neighborhood use. It's going to be a community-wide use. And so I think we're just trying to catch this parcel up to the other one, and then have them both be zoned C2 by the council if we can.
Right, and I'll add to that, a C1 is really not intended to be on collector streets. And like you said, the busier corridors are intended for a little something that's located in a neighborhood, like a little boutique shop or a coffee shop or something like that, that's embedded in a neighborhood.
Internal to a neighborhood, not necessarily on a commercial corridor.
Correct.
Very limited what you can do on them.
Oh, they're extremely limited.
No drive-throughs, no.
Very, very limited.
Yeah, and to
By
be,
design, they're limited.
and I think, just like I said with this, with the other building, I think this corridor lends itself to a C2. It makes sense. I think it's a mistake to go to a C1 on this corridor because the types of uses that are looking to be here. I mean, every single use so far on this entire corridor has been a drive-through, and you cannot have that in a C1. So it makes very good sense to me as far as what the future looks like on Arizona Avenue, that this is a commercial corridor, and C1 does not lend itself to a commercial corridor.
Any other comments? Okay, we will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. We recommend to City Council for the approval of zoning map amendment for parcel 4045377B from RE1A residential to C2 community commercial.
You have a first.
I will second.
First by Commissioner Steed, second by Commissioner Michael Bradshaw. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Number 10, zoning map amendment for parcel 4045339B from R120 single family to R18 single family. Please take us through this one, Vance.
Okay, this is a parcel up on Carling Street, just between Cook Avenue and Uzona Avenue. It's an R120 right now. They want to take the one lot that's R120 and split it into an R18 and create two single-family residentials.
So they're going to have a flag lot, or can
No,
they?
It's on the
It's
corner.
wide enough.
It's wide enough?
It's wide enough
Okay.
they can do
It's
this.
112 feet wide.
They'll have some long skinny lots, but it works.
So do they plan on putting a duplex on this? Or just a,
No, if they were going to do a duplex, they would have to go to an R2.
because ultimately, you're gonna have a house that's 25 feet wide. Seems ridiculous. I kinda have a problem with this one. And my problem is, where are we going to maintain estate lots in this? Should we just break everything up into quarter acre everything? Or is there, or is there a smart, logical place for half acre estates, 20,000 square foot lots? And I don't see anywhere in this area that there's anything of a quarter acre, anywhere close, anywhere within half a mile, maybe more. And you've got these open spaces, you've got, I just wonder if we're just shooting ourselves in the foot and breaking every lot into the smallest possible denomination, and I am concerned. And I'm concerned for this one, because to your point, it's gonna be a 25-foot wide house that's 50 feet deep, and then another 100 foot of backyard. I have concern with that, because what do you do with that? I can see you can build a larger estate house, you can utilize a half an acre, there's opportunity to build and to live on a parcel this size. 50 feet wide by 120, by 130 feet wide, man, I think it's just so difficult to live in that. I think it's a miserable, miserable lot. And I personally don't like it. So, it's just my, and I don't, that's my opinion. Maybe somebody else has a love to live like that, but I just don't want to. I would like to see some spaces where we can maintain some larger lots and not break it down to the smallest denomination. And I just wonder if this is a spot to do that. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I know we're coming up on a general plan amendment and all, the whole look.
Right.
It's my,
Well, I don't have answers for you on that because
I mean, inherently that's my problem. I just see this being a very difficult lot to make work doing what they're asking. And I feel like that it's an injustice for us to say that you go ahead and carve up our community however you want and then hope it works. And so I don't know what the other commission members feel, but that's my thought. So,
Well, we actually reduced the frontage requirement for R18 kind of to be able to do this sort of thing.
Well-
that was for flag lots, to be
No.
very frank.
No,
no, the R18 made it so that you could do just like we did with the Ashley Thomas. When you get an existing house, you can still do a
But-
3-lot split.
But even those ones,
But
even
those are almost-
67 feet
Right,
wide.
they're almost 70
70
feet.
feet wide. You can put a reasonable house on a 70-foot wide frontage. I've tried to put houses on 50-foot frontages, and they are micro houses. And then to have a backyard that's 4 times the depth of the house just seems very problematic to me. It becomes a junkyard. No one's going to live like that. It just ends up being a trash heap in the backyard, is my concern. So that's mine. I mean, I get your point. They can do it by statute, it's there. I just think it ought not be done in this circumstance.
yeah, we decreased that width from 70 to 55.
75 to
Well, is-
55.
55, yeah.
Yeah, is there a statute that a width to depth lot?
I don't believe it does. That might be something we ought to
We
look
might-
at.
Don't think so.
We might should look at that. Because I'm looking at these ones on Edson Avenue, and, I mean, that's like a 2.5 to 1 width to depth ratio. This will be a 4 to 1, almost 4 to 1 width to depth ratio. And that does concern me a lot.
Any other comments?
Valid point.
Very valid point.
I'm kind of the same way. I think that they ought to relook at it, and it's a perfect size for a, and in a kind of a nice area too. I mean, they'd be building a pretty weird-looking house
Well-
to build a house on there on that
And
narrow
not only
thing.
that, but you look at all of the other lots around here, it's an agricultural space. I mean, you've got the zoo next to it, which is basically an agricultural area. All the adjacent neighbors have animals, and then you're going to inflict a chicken coop in the back corner of this lot. So it's like, I don't like it.
Okay, anybody else?
Well, if you're ready for a motion, I would like to move
Okay.
that we recommend denial of this application for these reasons, because of width to depth ratio and the neighboring properties being nowhere close to this size.
Do you want to give them the option to table it and come back
No,
instead of
I
getting
want to
another
deny
fee?
it.
I don't think so.
I would like to recommend denial.
I'm not going to recommend that.
I would like to recommend denial.
What I would recommend from the planning commission is you make your motion, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yes.
Yep. And
Then it goes to the council.
They can-
And the applicant who is not here, if they choose to show up there, they could request them to
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
But,
table it and
Or
let them
plead their
start over.
case to the
plead the
council.
case, but I am recommending denial of this application.
So we have a first. I will second that. Let's do a roll call on this, please, Vance.
Mike Bradshaw,
Aye.
Charles Bradshaw,
Aye.
Carl Pavlonis,
Aye.
Lee Highsteed,
Aye.
Royal Barlow.
Aye.
Motion carries to recommend for denial. Okay, and then, well, we'll get back to that. Okay, we are at number 11 now, which is the outdoor lighting thing. And I appreciate all that staff has done on this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. this-
For everything that you've done. It's a great start to this.
Well, I thought that we'd be just as well off to have a discussion item here as try to do a separate work session in the month.
Yes. And I liked everything, I liked what you've done here.
I pulled the bones of it from, I went to Bisbee, because we kind of liked theirs. I pulled down their updated one, their most recent, which had some significant changes. And it seemed like it was really straightforward. It's not overbearing. But it explains what needs to happen. So,
So I have some questions and comments on this for discussion.
okay?
First, I did like actually a lot of it. I thought.
And this is a first run, so,
I didn't see a lot of discussion about LED lighting, and I'm okay with that. So you do have on, what is this? This is on page 78 of, it's not 78, it's just
Yeah.
labeled 78. It says, so you do have a correlated color temperature of all lamps shall not exceed 30 or 3,000 Kelvin, which I like. I noticed that in the subsequent outdoor lighting on the last page, and I think it's just kind of,
the very last page is what we have currently in our
it is.
zoning code.
Okay, so and I like this, and part of what I do like about it is the fact that when you replace a failed lamp, external lamp, you change it out with a 3,000 bulb. So
Right.
it has that discussion in there, which I didn't see in this updated area,
Okay.
So I do think that that is useful. The other question that I had is, so on a flagpole, you mentioned the flagpole, you can't have more than 20 feet or one pole per site.
It's on 79.
But the question, I guess you can have a flagpole. Is there a height limitation to flagpoles for residential lots?
I thought we had it, it might be, Might be over in this other one.
And this isn't obviously part of that, but you have it as, you just say that it's greater than 20 feet. It seems like a residential flagpole should not exceed 20.
Basically, what it says is if it's greater than 20 feet, then they're gonna have to illuminate it from top down rather than shine a spotlight out.
Which I appreciate a lot, because by the time you illuminate,
So when our
Up.
light out here dies, we gotta change it out to one on the top of our pole.
yeah,
Which,
well,
the technology's there now, it's not
there's
that hard.
there's
to
a
do.
couple of flagpoles out in Centennial Park that are fairly annoying.
They're way taller than 20 feet.
They're way taller than 20 feet, and they're way brighter than what we're talking about, and it's annoying. I'm tell you right out, it's annoying. They should not illuminate it that way, so I appreciate that.
I don't know that there is a restriction on flagpole heights.
I think there should be, but that we can delve into that a different time. Because I don't think you should have a 80-foot
So we'll
flagpole
put that
in
as a
residential-
question, do we want to put a limit on, in residential areas?
For residential areas.
Yeah.
And then possibly.
Commercial would have to be a product of a, we might want to say a flagpole over a certain height, even in commercial
get
would have
special
to be
use
a,
Or at least some conditional
go through
use.
another review process.
I would definitely say that.
I think we
Run
should.
into a St. George City problem like they had. Their giant flag at the
Yeah.
RV park.
And to be fair, I think they should have it. I think they should just come and ask for it and talk
Right,
about it. We
well,
should all have,
Right, because at that point, now you're impacting all your neighbors. We need to
exactly.
look at the site plan and make
Right.
it.
well, and if it fell over, well, who does it fall over on?
Right.
I think flagpoles are cool, but there should be some nominal limitations. Okay, next one on page 82. So seasonal decorations, it says all illuminated displays shall be extinguished between 1 a.m. and sunrise, which I think is awesome, but I just don't know how you enforce that.
Yeah, well, that was lighting that was in there. I left it because I knew it would be a matter of discussion.
I like it. I
We
do
can-
like it.
If you feel like it's going to be too hard to enforce,
That means Christmas lights, yes. That they'd have to be on a timer to turn off at 1 a.m.
The ones that exceed the lumen cap,
over
it's
a
not
certain
all
lumen
Christmas
cap,
lights.
those that are exceeding that have to turn off at a certain time.
It's not
You
everybody's.
just set a timer.
If they're too bright.
You know, like those giant displays
Yeah,
that
but
some people
typically
do.
your little red, white, and blue things are not going to exceed that.
Well, and most of the time,
And your
I think,
icicle lights.
I think neighbors are going to basically be
Govern
friendly to their
themselves.
neighbors. It's like those music ones down in St. George, you know, they go till 10 o'clock and then they turn off. And that seems reasonable. But if somebody has, you know, a prolific that's what I think too.
Some of that, yeah.
Because you could create a lot of.
Animosity and,
out there
yeah.
that
Put a lot of work on
could
Vance.
create a bigger negative.
I just wonder if we should maybe make that as part of a commercial situation, as part of,
Commercial area, but.
as, so if a commercial has a big display, maybe we ask them to turn it down. But maybe residential is just like, hey, fight with your neighbors, bro.
It's like a noise ordinance almost.
Well, noise ordinances are enforceable because the police can stop in. and
Well, they
shut it
could
down.
with the lights too, but you generally aren't going to worry about it unless there's a complaint.
Unless you're
Exactly.
right.
And I don't think we need to leave it out. I wouldn't leave it out. I would leave it in.
And then just see
And
where it
then
lands.
we-
We can always change it later, too.
Well, first of all, the public's going to have time to go through this if they will.
If they will.
Yeah.
And,
I think that's the biggest thing.
you know, and if they don't, then it's like, well, you had the opportunity and you didn't do it. So here's the rule now. And it's not really that egregious of a thing to go turn off your lights that are blaring down on somebody else. in the
Also,
middle of
who's
the night.
looking at them at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, well, it depends.
You're
on-
not standing
depends on
in
how
your
it's
yard.
shining in.
Depends
I
on
mean,
how it's shining in your back, your front, your,
There,
your,
if you in one of these things, there was one where if it's on the fence line, it
Light
can't be
trespass.
shining across the neighbor's lot.
Light
It's got to
trespass, which-
shine back into your
yeah,
yard.
and
light
I think
trespass.
light trespass is a very, very important thing because, you know, you get these court lights that are basically blazing, and sometimes they blaze into the night. It's like, and they just trespass everywhere. And so I do like that where basically I think it's 20 feet outside of your property, it has to be less than 0.5.
But that's permanent, so.
Right. Now, if
So
you
your
get,
seasonal stuff would be.
well, but you're,
Yes.
generally, like your court lights and stuff are going to be on when there's an event.
Mm-hmm.
And the the proposed code basically says they have to be off by this time or within so much time after
After
the
the
event
event.
ended.
Right.
And they should be on a timer that automatically turns them off if the custodian forgets to.
Well, it's interesting, so we've done several parks that are to that level, and they're on a timer, so they do turn off. And so if no one's playing, they turn off. So let's say they quit playing at 7 o'clock right now because it's dark or it's cold.
And if there's no motion.
If there's no
on there
motion, they turn
for
off.
so long,
But then they
just turn
do
off.
not turn on after 10 o'clock, no matter what. And so that's useful in park scenario, but that's a public scenario, not a private scenario.
When you're talking court lights, you generally are talking sports activities.
Mhm.
And the residential would be subject to the residential cap.
Right.
Well,
Period.
not only that, if somebody's playing basketball through the night, they're probably going to be outside the noise ordinance
Also.
zone, all that stuff. So they're probably going to get called on with the noise
I mean,
before the
to
lights, and
be-
then they'll have to come and turn them off
I
anyways.
mean, what usually happens, I mean, neighbors are good neighbors typically. I mean, sometimes they're jerks, but
Most of the
time. When this actually happens, if it's an Airbnb or something like that, and people are out partying in the pool until 1 o'clock in the morning.
We have a whole nother code dealing with Airbnbs.
And all of these other entities do too. Vegas, quiet time is 10 o'clock to, I think, 7 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And if you go outside, those Airbnb guys, they call you up right now. I mean, if you even walk out the door, they call you up and say, hey, get inside. Because they can be fined and they can have their license pulled.
Right.
If they get too many complaints, and the neighbors are really happy to complain. So, anyway, we're getting off into the weeds. The other one that I wanted to talk about was on 82, where it talks about, oh no, I talked about that one. On 83, where it talks about violations, and I wonder if we should discuss a reduced violation for residential. Just because, I mean, that's pretty egregious for a, I don't know. I don't know if it's enough for commercial. I don't know if it's too much for residential, because I know some residences or some commercial guys would say, yeah, for a month I'll pay $100 so that I get $100 a day. Now, obviously it's 100 to 1,000, so you can exact more.
It's not more than, it's not
More than 100.
More than 1,000.
So I guess it's really, I don't know, maybe we just leave it at that, but we're just wondering if
I think it's worth considering having two separate ones.
one for residents and one for commercial, because, I mean, typically a residence isn't super irritating unless they turn their court lights on all hours of the night and don't turn them off, so. I don't know. Otherwise, I thought this was good. I didn't see anything in here about the process of getting this approved. Is that would that be in a different?
Of the process for the code approval or the?
No, the process to get your site plan approved.
Oh, yes, the site plans are a whole separate section of their own in the code.
And so then you would basically.
So part of the
include-
site plan review is you look at their lighting
You
plan.
look at their
to make
lighting
sure it
plan and maybe
complies.
request a photometric study.
And then it's up to the building official to enforce that as they're doing their inspections.
Okay, that makes sense. This looks really good. I don't know how this compares with what Hilldale's doing, but I think.
I don't either because they haven't sent me their draft copy yet.
I think overall this is pretty concise.
We might outpace them on this one.
I would say this is good enough to send them a draft copy.
The only, so, there was that table of equivalent light fixture and candle. I can't remember what it was in the
Bisbee
package.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a light fixture and foot candle comparison type.
Or was that in the Flagstaff one?
No, it was in the Bisbee one, I believe.
It wasn't in their new one then. I think it was in one of the others.
Okay. Oh, you know what it was? It was in the county code, that La Paz County or whatever that was.
Okay.
One of the
We can
things
look at that because we can incorporate.
'Cause I think-
Now's the time to
I
incorporate
thought
those.
that
if
was
we
a
need.
pretty nice little table because it delineated some wattages with foot candles and things like that, which may be helpful. as you're
Right.
going through.
One of those
'Cause
ones.
most of us lay people, we don't know what a Kelvin is.
Right.
One of the things I noticed in one of those is who was exempt from this.
Cities are,
The city
Yeah.
is exempt, the federal government is exempt, the state's exempt.
which they should be.
Well, those are, we don't have
You don't have jurisdiction anyway.
We don't have jurisdiction over state or schools or federal.
Yeah, school would be exempt. They can put whatever lights they want in.
We would encourage them to comply with it, but we can't force them to.
But I like this. I think
So you
this,
might want to put that in there just so that, somebody comes up, well, why can the school do it? Well, it's
I
because we
think
can't
it actually
legislate
spells it out in the thing.
Okay.
Why do we not have oversight over school property?
Their government.
County.
Welcome
they,
schools, and I don't know about other states, but in Arizona, they're kind of, can do whatever the hell they want.
yeah, the schools,
Their inspections and stuff are done by the state,
it's a state entity.
and Utah's even
Pretty
worse.
much, yeah.
Mojave in Washington County.
Yeah, they don't come into the same jurisdiction.
Well, and even.
They don't
if-
even have to get a building permit to put a building in. They can come in and build their building. They don't have to give you the time of day.
Most of the time they do it just out of courtesy, but they don't have to.
And that includes Mojave College?
Yeah.
It, I don't know if it does if they don't own the property. On state lands,
No, any school, and I believe that community colleges fall under that, are not subject to the local jurisdiction's building codes.
it's possible. I don't, that's a good question. Well, I think this is a nice step forward, so. I just had a couple of those comments, discussion points.
Well, and
Like
if you
it.
come across any more thoughts, kick them over to me.
Okay.
Okay, now, the other thing I would think we ought to go back to, now that we're done with this one, is anybody have any
Now,
more?
this was discussion only, there's no
Okay.
formal action.
I think we should go back and address, or at least at some future point, Vance, talk about that width to depth ratio on the,
Right, I've got some notes here
Okay.
on that.
all right. Because I think that's a very, very important thing to consider.
Yeah, even if
Definitely.
even if your lot is 100 feet wide, if it's 600 feet deep, that's not a good lot. That's a terrible lot. And there's several the reason I know this, there's a few lots up in Salt Lake area that I've worked on as a surveyor and a site planner and whatnot. And they are 100 feet wide and 600 feet deep. And the last 400 feet of that is a junkyard. Every single time. Without fail, it's a junkyard. It's too narrow to get a flag lot, so you can't do anything with it. And so what ends up happening is they just pile all their crap in the back, especially if it's a attainable low-income house. That's the only thing they're going to do is collect. And I'm not judging people, it's just the nature of the reality. You just collect things and you put them sight unseen, and so you see it time and time again. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But you get these deep lots, and you put a house the full width of the yard, and then it's a trash heap in the back, a fire hazard, a danger hazard, a death trap. I mean, it's dangerous. Hoarder's nightmare. And so I think that we should take a very, very hard look at it. I know Mojave County has it.
At
You
minimum.
don't want to push them to more flag lots. I think the flag lots are.
I think they're
Well, they
equally
couldn't do a
dangerous.
flag lot right there anyway, because the flag lots, it wouldn't fit the criteria.
Right.
Below an acre.
Well, and I wonder if we should change the flag lots to like a 3/4 acre minimum lot size that you can do a flag lot on. Maybe it by default it has to be. I don't know.
I'd have to go back and look at the code, because I think it does specify a minimum size that they can even start with.
It does.
That
Pretty
makes
sure it
sense. Probably should be.
We kind of went into that kicking and screaming.
We did.
Yeah, makes sense.
But rather-
As soon as it passed off,
I know.
which it was inevitable because
Which is,
Again.
it's still
So-
better than some of the creative juices that were starting to flow.
So do we narrow the entrance, or do we make a ratio, like the Ashley
Which?
Thomas lot? Do we make a ratio of depth to width, or do we
Right, no.
narrow, just limit the?
No, it's just a ratio and
It's
until
a
you get to a
ratio
big-
that
until you get
says,
to a
that
massive
says
lot.
on a residential lot, if it's this wide, it can't be more than 2.5 times as deep, or whatever that
Something like that.
ratio is.
We put a ratio to it. Gotcha.
Right, so if it's 55 feet wide, it can't be more than X deep.
Right. And it could be a gradation too, you know, if it's a 50-foot lot, it can only be 2-to-1 ratio.
in your or in our motion, does it say that in there why we,
We will include that.
that way the
was
city council
recommended.
knows why
Well,
we
we have
don't want
two
to.
because
city
of
council members
concerns
here, they
with-
can
with
Yeah,
either,
but it needs to
with
be
the
on
depth.
record though, so
Yeah.
it's,
I will put that in the,
they can
Michael
speak
did
for or
bring that up
against
in
it.
the discussion.
okay. Item 12, informational summaries.
next regular meeting scheduled for February 2nd,
Groundhog Day.
Perfect.
over and over again.
Yes, that's
February 2nd,
We
right?
don't have to keep doing it over and over.
That's right.
Good thing I
Other than
canceled
that,
what
I
I was
don't
gonna
really
do
have
that
anything
day.
else at this point.
Okay, then we will call this meeting adjourned at 5:45.
Thank you.